I actually
Just
was
recording
painting.
it.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
I actually was painting things that was around me. And laundry day was at the time, in my time, my career personally was like
Yeah.
one of those great pieces because because up until that point, that was something that I actually lived in the space.
Yeah.
And we had little kids and we had laundry and stuff like that at the time. And
It was
I
life.
actually, you know what I mean? I had other paintings on the wall that were in that my little foyer at this time. And
Yeah.
I remember looking at that painting after we set this up, or you set this up, looking back at the painting, it's like, wow, just what a moment. But that
Yeah.
day you purchased it, I remember I think you were kind of jumping rope. You were kind of going back and forth if you were going to do it or not. And I think some time it went by and I was such a rookie and I was so anxious because I really thought that this lady right here, she knows what she's looking at. She
Yeah.
knows she's
Yeah.
like really
When I
into
saw it, I was like, wait a minute. This is an archival painting. This
yeah,
is crazy.
it
Then
was
he
crazy.
painted his laundry room. This
And it
is
was
so much life. Yeah.
yeah, it was crazy
Yeah.
because that was exactly what I was aiming for at that time as a young artist or a younger artist.
Yeah.
And you absolutely really you made my heart feel so good when you purchased
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It was a task. It was really I was really anxious, but I remember that day really well. It was an outside event, I think maybe I'm not sure where it was,
It was
but
a show, right?
it was an art show I was in, maybe an art walk Durham was having back in the
Something
day,
like that. Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, I
And
think that's what it was. Yeah. An art
yeah,
walk.
yeah, because they don't do that anymore like that. So
That's wild. Well,
yeah,
especially now. Well, it's odd. I was gonna say especially now, but then this is 2021, so there's, I know they're happening up here, but you
yeah,
guys are in the red zone, eh? Down
yeah,
there.
we aren't so bad right now. I think
Yeah,
we're in a better state as we are. The city kind of opened up about 2 months ago.
cool.
We had like our first like third Friday gallery events in 18 months
Yeah,
or so. And so we're kind of slowly getting back into it, and you can see the people kind of get back to it, but it's hard to really judge that because people are so non-compliant.
that's true. Yeah,
And it's really difficult, but I think we're doing okay now. We can maintain some type of compliancy, get people to
yeah,
be smart about it, and but it's getting back, and I'm looking forward to people getting back and browsing the city and purchasing
yeah.
art and doing things like
So have you had a chance to look at any of the previous episodes?
that. Snippets,
Snippets, that's okay.
snippets of a lot actually. I'm
Nice.
gonna be honest with you. The way I'm moving, the way I move daily, it's like if I just have 10 minutes to just
Yeah,
pull up and take a breath,
I
grab
feel
some
you.
lunch. I honestly since the day you met me, since I painted laundry day almost, I've been in fifth gear. And I think, but I haven't, I haven't like I wanted to, but
Yeah. The reason I ask is because you know that Jamel and I talk a lot about NFTs. And the question, of course, the wish that I have in life is that you would say, you know what, why not?
okay,
And
okay.
I got funding actually to help finance and support creators and artists who want to actually drop an NFT, try it out, play with it.
Yeah,
It's a crypto art game. So
yeah,
it's not really real, but it's real. You give me
yeah,
like it's that
yeah,
thing, man.
yeah.
Um, and one of the ways we've been connecting with artists, at least myself, is I realize the point here for me, because I'm in these you've heard of Clubhouse?
Yes, I have.
So I'm in these Clubhouse rooms listening to folks talk about it early on back in March, April, when it really started popping off for the majority of people. I would say the majority of people who are digital artists, right?
Right.
You do a lot of work on Canvas. Do you do any digital art?
I do no digital work. I've never done digital work a day in my life. I've only
And the
been
fact that you're self-taught, it just blows my mind, right? Because I
yeah,
am also, right?
right,
And I was painting when I was in high school.
right, right.
And then over life, I've painted. but then it's like the last 10 years I haven't. And I think, again, it's all about spiritual alignment.
Sure it is. Absolutely.
Right? A lot of alignment. But then in April, DMX passed, I started painting again.
Okay.
Acrylics on canvas. And it's just like, and you have no idea that I paint, right? So that's another thing that
I will soon. I'll see
a
it.
lot of folks don't know. Let's connect on Instagram, because that's where I'm putting a lot of work up.
Okay, that's what's up.
But yeah, man, it's like, so yes, NFTs and crypto art, the idea is to bring it more to us, Black people, Indigenous, Latino people, especially here in Hartford. And I love also the idea, because I'm now getting more attention as an influencer, because I do the podcast, right?
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah.
So the idea really is connecting artists to collectors.
Right.
Right. And really sort of helping to elevate folks' art, amplify what they're doing. Brother, you are already killing the game. I mean, every time you put anything out, I'm just like, God, there's not enough money in the world.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you, I appreciate you. You have no idea how much I appreciate you. And there's people like you.
I want Nina. I want Josephine. I want Muhammad Ali. When I saw Muhammad Ali, that's like 20 different canvases, right?
Yeah. I made little canvases, and I just put them all together. They fell where they may, and I put Muhammad Ali's image on there, and
because it's so 3D. I love it because it's so 3-dimensional.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you, honestly. I'm really humble in the game. I don't I think I have a story to tell. So I think some of the paintings I do in between the story that I tell is definitely, that's why I do so much. I do so much work. I mean, I work on 10.
Yeah, man. And so one of the things I'm gonna want to talk to you about is, it's really just a conversation. Yeah. Jamila's gonna join us. He's our co-host, Cool Peoples. Sure. He's a videographer, like that's his domain. He works also with musicians, like a lot of rap artists, videos. But I think ideally, when I think about NFTs and sort of bringing it to us, it's more about ownership. Mm-hmm. It's more about folks who are dealing with, particularly photographers, dealing with issues of people stealing their work and then suing them. Yeah. So Jen, a friend of mine, she talked about that last week. I'm like, are you serious?
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, and so I might even want to talk to you about that, right? Yeah. Copyright and legacy, because you've got beautiful, 4 lovely children?
I have 4 kids. Yeah.
And so legacy building, like this morning I was thinking about it, right? Your artwork, of course, as an artist, your artwork outlives you. Yeah. And so how does it even, think about this, how does it even feel knowing that you are building legacy, that you're building work that will so stand the test of time? Yeah. Like you are on this, you know what I'm saying? You on this earth and you're doing stuff that's gonna outlive you for generations.
Yeah, I think the first time when I first started thinking about legacy, when I was asked about it, I think it didn't really, I wasn't really, it was like, I'm doing it for my children. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then in the process, I was like, well, if this legacy is gonna be told properly, I have to put it on canvas. I have to put pieces on canvas that allow somebody to narrate, or me to narrate 2 years of my life in one piece.
Yeah.
And I think that tells a tale too, because the legacy can be written wrong. But in art, if the artist paints their own legacy, the autobiography, the artobiography, then it's up to me to do it properly. And I think that my children along the way, my marriage, my family, that comes into play now. I need to depict it properly on canvas. So I think that legacy means I have to do it justice. I have to be sure that I'm actually giving you the total truth, the whole truth. I'm not giving you only Darius B. Picasso 208, the artist, but I'm giving you Darius Quarles, the father of 4, the not perfect, the person that stumbled often, you know what I mean? And also the person, I want you to tell that story in the legacy that, guess what, I probably shouldn't be here sitting with you talking today.
That's right.
because of the ideas that, you know, I didn't get here because, you know, art chose me. You know, I got here because I chose it, and
Nice. Yep.
I just followed its course. But prior to all of this relationship, I had a relationship with the other things, you know, with
Yeah.
the streets, with the knuckleheads, you know what I mean, with the, you
Yeah.
know, being a teenager, being in the military, and things like that. So I like the legacy to be told
Yeah.
properly. To be told properly. And that way my kids look back on it like, oh nah, dad, I remember you did this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I remember you know what I'm saying? So I think it's a huge honor to have that now. And I didn't even know it would be a thing years ago.
Mm.
Because, you know, after Laundry Day, hey, I thought I did it all. I thought I painted the world's greatest painting. Laundry Day was the world's greatest painting. I could just sit back and relax on that. But then as
Right.
time goes on, you realize, guess what? You got more to do. So
Yeah.
in those years, the legacy comes in. I'm definitely hoping that I'm honored to have that and to be able to actually narrate it myself. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I think that's the most important part for me in the legacy that I'm passing on, to being able to and actually have witnesses. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. They have
Yeah.
witnesses, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brother, you know, I'm gonna want you to talk about a day in the life
Yeah,
of Mr.
absolutely,
Quarles. I
absolutely.
love you. I love your quote. My artwork is inspired by a powerful mixture of dreams and reality,
Yeah,
visions unleashed from my mind
yeah,
onto the canvas.
yeah.
What a beautiful mind.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, I thank you very much. Now, I think that it actually
This
took
is
you.
no bullshit. I need you to know this, brother. When
Oh,
I mean, whenever I experience any of your art,
mhm.
I just feel so good. I mean,
And
because the
yeah,
strokes are just incredible. Like
yeah,
what I realize is you put it's. I mean, it's. I love it. I mean,
yeah.
that's all I can say is I love it.
And I think it. I'm so happy that it emits that way, because
Yeah.
that's because I mean that's how I'm indebted in it when I'm doing
Mm.
almost. I mean, at this point, 100% of the paintings that I do have a total. I'm totally engulfed. I'm total cooperation. I'm fully engaged in every piece. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that shows, you know, because it could be just whatever and just people just doing things and just because it's like, you know, it can be done and just slapping things together. But I definitely really pay attention to everything, and I think that goes to my upbringing. I think
Yeah.
the day in the life that you're talking about, I think that started when I was young. I think I
Mm.
still have that day in the life, but it's just transformed into the art world.
Yeah.
Because growing up with my grandparents, it was like a day in life mean 6:30, 7 o'clock, you up out the bed,
That's right.
you eating your cold cereal, or if not, you get lucky and grandma makes some pancakes because she's also working. She's a beautician, and
Mm.
her beauty
Oh
salon
my
is,
God. Mine was, I was raised and adopted by my grandparents.
look at that. Look at that. So
And my mother was a beautician
no, that's the energy. That's the energy we have, right? So
down in Louisiana. That's right.
yeah, and I'm from Louisa, Virginia.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's right
So
outside of Richmond.
yeah, right outside of
I see
Richmond,
that.
between Charlottesville. So, you know, the day of the life when I was a youngster, because my grandparents had me since I was, an infant.
Yep.
Um,
Ditto. Yep.
so I grew up. It was like you get up, especially in the summer times. You get up, you eat your breakfast, you wash these dishes, you sweep the floor, you clean the kitchen, you make your bed, and then you
You
got,
clean up.
I was raised on 100 acres of land, so we had gardens and pigs, and and lots.
70 acres. Once I
Yeah,
was 5.
I'm telling you. So
Oh
look at
my
that. Look at
God,
that.
we paralleling that.
We
The
parallel. I'm telling you.
parallels.
So
Yeah.
so I and I didn't go to Friday Night Lights. After school stuff. I wasn't. My grandma like,
Yeah.
no, we got things to do. I was picking greens, selling to her customers in her shop.
That's right.
I make me a little hustle money from the
Yeah.
garden every summer. But I was everybody's, I would go, I would cut grass for the older people, make a little money. I would do things for my granddad's tractor. Of course, I would get into a little mischievous things. I was on the country. There's all this, stuff going on.
Ain't nothing to do, man.
Yo,
Yeah.
and that's that legacy again. That moves into that day in the life, because when you're in the garden all day long, like I was, painting trees was the first thing. Drawing trees was the first thing I ever done, because that was all around me was trees.
Nice.
That's how trees became integral to my early art. I always painted.
Mm.
So that was every day. That was up and you going to bed at 7, 8 o'clock, I ate together. Me and my grandparents ate together every night.
That's right. That's right.
It was just us three at that table, and we ate together every night.
Ditto.
And,
wow.
So it was actually with my own children unheard of. We don't eat together every night.
Yeah.
It's 6 of us.
It's 2021, man. Come on.
It's what I mean?
We all busy.
Yeah, we all busy. So the day of the life started then. My grandma packed it in. She never gave my mind an opportunity to idle.
That's right.
And I think it now,
because they said the same thing. I know my mom said that I don't mind.
Yeah.
Can't have it. Those old folks, man.
Hey, those quotes, those things that they actually were passing on. My grandfolks, your grandfolks, probably a lot of older people, a lot of people in general have those Miyagi traits. You don't realize you need this information until you actually put in a situation. Yeah. And I didn't know I had to wax on. I was getting to a fight. I was had to wax on and use that technique. Same thing with growing up like we did. The idea that your grandma give you these jewels, these gems, or your grandpa give you these gems. You better go ahead and take them gems. You're gonna need them gems later. So that's how things work out. And so a day in life to me is just absolutely bananas. It's like this weekend, just Sunday through Tuesday, my family went on vacation. We went out to took the kids to Busch Gardens, and we did all this kind of stuff. We had a great time. That was the first time I have not worked in 6 years.
Wow, bro. You got to enjoy it too, man, right?
Yo, if I don't do it, I'm sick. I mean, I got to do it. I mean, I got to do it. It's something in me. Like every day I walk in here and I walk in the room where I paint, and I have stacks of papers with ideas, and I do a lot of commissions too. So with my commissions, I'm breaking things down. So I got papers everywhere, and I got, I'm cutting wood one day and building frames and stretching and priming one day, and then I'm setting them out when it's hot like it is now.
Yeah.
I can build 40 frames any size.
Yeah.
That's my day. And then I mix my paints for whatever canvas I got working. I got them in, and they're waiting to roll. And then I got another idea that pops in, and that's where the legacy part makes the most sense. Because I'm painting doing a commission, I'm painting somebody's face. I'm doing Peter Tosh, or I'm doing Phil Freelon, or they're on the side, but in the middle of that day when I'm packing that stuff in, that part of legacy pops in, where something happens with a child, or something happens that I remember from an event, or my wife and I are doing good, or we arguing about something stupid, or we got money problems, or we got, that's where that part sticks in, and that's where the painting pops up. That involves that legacy part, because
it's like you're capturing those snapshots.
Yeah, exactly.
Experience.
Exactly.
Life.
Yeah, it's life. If you put those swatches that happen in life every day, one day the mail might not come. I might decide to paint the mailbox empty. The idea, so the idea is like, what was going on in March 8, 2018? The damn mailman, they come in. I was waiting for that check. So that's part of that piece, is in that legacy that I hope to pass on when I'm dead and gone in art. So,
it's beautiful storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. I have one piece that's rolled up and tucked away now. Like 3 or 4 years ago, my wife, 5 years ago, we have some issues, and it is called Rerouting. And the painting is like 50 inches long. It's really slim. But in that painting is a timeline of about 8 months.
It's a scroll, yeah.
Yeah, so it's 8 months, and it's just going through the whole thing of that 8 months. And I've tried to sell it. I had it in the gallery. People looked at it. They said, "Oh, that's nice." But what they didn't understand, I find this a lot of art people, like unlike yourself, they don't look at what they see. They don't really pay attention to what they see.
Yes.
They see either a sun or a butterfly or a house, or the sky's blue, or the green grass, or the flower that's purple within this yellow field. They don't actually look at what all that means, like
the context.
There are numbers in there. There are things, and there's movement. There are people. There are names. There are certain things you got to look at in a mirror to understand. Like, you look at stuff in the mirror, and like, oh, that says Ira. You know what I mean? Well, that says
they probably ask a lot of more questions if they actually really could understand what you're looking at, right?
Right. And
like, you're looking at the pretty picture, but there's some meaning in there. There's a whole hell of a lot of meaning in there.
Yeah, that's the legacy.
Those archival paintings, brother.
That's it. You look at that and you're like, damn, you know, how many times they broke down Mona Lisa to see who the hell Mona Lisa is? Like, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like
he said, give a brother some credit.
I mean, come on, right? You know, so that's just so in that day you get that. You know, I get that in that day, and I'm packing that in. At the same time, I got kids at work now. I got a daughter here.
Nice.
So I got soccer. I got all these things. So and I'm still trying to paint, and I paint from 5 o'clock. I get up at 5 o'clock every day, and I paint till about 5, sometimes 6, 7 o'clock every day. And of course, I can be an asshole sometimes because I mean, excuse me, but I'm.
Oh, you can curse on this show, bro.
Okay. But yeah. So, but I forced myself to push so hard to tell that story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Since Laundry Day, I've been just trying to tell a story.
Yeah.
And I think that's missed a lot of times in art because, you know, I'm in the art gallery now 10 years. I'm the only brother there. I'm the only guy that's been there since day one.
That's what I was going to ask. All right, 2 things real quick.
Yeah.
Jamil, meet Darius.
What's up, Jamil?
Darius, what's going on, man? Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure. Yes.
Hey, thanks,
I
man.
want to interrupt your conversation. It was a good one. It was a good one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this brother in, what is it, man? Maybe 15. Was that like 2008, 9? What was it?
I'm going to say, see, I painted Laundry Day at a certain time. It's probably going to be at least 15, 17 years, 8 or more years
maybe
ago.
I'm
just doing the time ahead. I'm thinking about the kids, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking,
they were babies.
Yeah, babies, you know, so about that time, long time, and, you know, big supporter, you know, I've always loved you. I've always loved you, Artist Day One, yo. You put a brother on the map a little bit. You made my head swell a little bit. I thought I was doing
nice.
By selling you a piece of artwork was like huge. You have no idea, it was huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Jamil, just real quick background, bro.
Yeah.
I was at work. Well, I was working at Cornell. I had to travel for work a lot between, 2010? No, it had to be I moved here in 2010.
Yeah.
Timeline, like he said, had to be 17 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
I'm in Durham. There must have been like an art walk event or something. I happened upon this brother's work. And when I saw the painting that I wanted, it was him painting his laundry room on the doors. Were they French doors?
Yes, kind of similar. Yeah, in my room, yep.
On the French doors, he had reproduced paintings that he already had painted. It was like 6 paintings. It was basically 7 total paintings in one.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, librarian, I look at it and I'm like, oh shit, this is an archival painting.
Yeah.
And so that's what we were just talking about when people are looking at his work and not fully appreciating what they're actually looking at. A lot of the work comes from, and I'm just sort of paraphrasing here, like he says, his experiences, what he sees, what he dreams. And a lot of the work is archival, right? So it's a painting within a painting.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if you happen to see the 20-piece, what was it, Muhammad Ali piece. I'm gonna that's on your website. Is that right, Darius?
It should be on a website. Nice on IG.
I want to show that too. So let me pull it up.
Yeah, that was a crazy piece. It was like again, back then. I mean, I'm just trying to, I'm fishing for eyes back then. So yeah, so I want people to.
Oh wow, that is amazing.
And you see how it's 3D, bro?
Oh wow.
It's like he's literally coming at you.
Oh, that's so dope. Because you know what that reminds me of too? Like, remember those little toys, those little wooden blocks, like as kids, like putting them together and stuff. That's exactly what that is. And but to have such an iconic piece like that, and then the painting itself too, like the illustration is just like, wow, there's so many fine detail to it. Like that's so dope. Oh man.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe 22 because I didn't count the ones on the bottom. The last 2 hectagons.
Yeah, I still have that piece. Actually, it's been. I tucked it away. You know what I mean? I showed it a couple times, and I was like, tucked it away. I'm see, whatever.
All right. How much to get it off your hands? I gotta figure out what I need to save.
Ira, Ira, for you, goodness, I'm gonna have to DM you that because you never. I mean, I'm gonna send you a text on that because I don't know. I love you so much. I might just give it away, but I want to be fair. Let me think on that.
That'd be insane. Like for me, this piece has to go into a space, like we were talking about, Jamil.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where it deserves to be. Everyone deserves to see this. Everyone deserves to see this. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I appreciate.
I love the way you put it, Jamil. Everyone deserves, Darius, to see this.
Thank you. Yeah.
I know it's right here.
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't get much love, and also again, sometimes I do stuff like this. I mean, I'm saying I'm searching for eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm searching for eyes. Like, okay, who's going to see this and be like, oh man, this is a little different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why I do certain things. Again, it's putting certain stuff in artwork. You know, I've had issues with people in my gallery, and I've painted my issues in paintings, and they've looked at me and didn't know I was talking about them. You know, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. With this, I'm trying to say, in Durham, you know, the eyes are getting more now because they have more tourists. Yeah. But back in the day, man, people walking by this like, I'm just, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was my hook to get certain people to be like, like yourselves. Like, this makes sense.
I get it. Yeah.
This is different. Yeah. This, you know, not built these
now, man. I was gonna say, and now as I'm looking, like when the art world that we're sort of like immersed in, is interesting because like I find myself in quite a few clubhouse rooms where they're talking about, you know, fine art. And they're talking about the sort of commercial, popular, collectibles, right?
Yeah.
Sort of 10,000 of something, you know. So this piece, for example, somehow reimagined in 10,000 different ways.
Yeah.
But computationally created.
Yep.
Versus artwork that is gonna stand the test of time. At the end of the day, that's what I think. You know, where we're talking about those artists who are, I don't like the phrase fine art because it has so many connotations around colonialism, capitalism, white supremacy, all of these things that don't represent what he and I, what Jamil and I, because he's right here, what we want to represent.
Right.
Absolutely.
Which is legacy, which is spirituality, which is
it's humanity. It's humanity. It's humanity. That's art in a nutshell at the end of the day, right? Expression of humanity. Like that's, you know, from the conversation that I hear with Darius and his experiences and what he does as an artist, like that's art, you know. It's throwing your expression, it's throwing your point of view of the world, but we can all share that because we're all human, and that's humanity, and we get to interpret that however we want to and appreciate that. But it's super important because I when I was tuning into the first part of your conversation when I got in, I was seeing how or hearing how people not understanding, right? Not really truly appreciating what's being seen there. And it's because it's important that people do their homework, right? It's important to get like educated on like these things. And I've learned so much from Ira just in general, like more so locally with people and artists that I've never known about. And she puts me on the spot too. She's like, you should be embarrassed you don't know this. I'm like, oh no. But it's true, because in order for you to appreciate any type of other art, you need to do your homework. You need, so that you can appreciate it more. And it's super important. And now getting into this conversation of these two worlds of art now, this new emerging world of the NFTs and computational art, of having these series and copies, the scarcity model, right? To like have a collection of these different types of pieces of art. And that's one side, right? Specifically with digital artists who are trying to build these types of those series, right? And then you have artists who are transitioning into that world, like a Ferocious, who is an amazing painter, but transitioning into NFTs and really popping off on there.
Canvas painter,
a canvas and finding that balance. And now we are talking to plenty of other artists on the other side who may not know that side, but you know, want to kind of add it to their arsenal and use it as a tool to just expand, you know, the eyes, right? To get more eyes on their art. And claim a complete ownership. So, you know, that's us in a nutshell, man. So yeah, like that's who I am. That's and obviously I know you know Ira, so
yeah, no doubt. Look, I'm interested, no doubt. So you already know.
You know,
I feel awesome.
No, I feel as you know, being an artist, I would say an artist advocate. I love that concept. For Absolutely. Probably a good like 7-8 years, I was commissioned on cultural affairs here in Hartford, in the city of Hartford, for as a secretary for the commission. And, you know, simply the idea of trying to get public art more visible throughout the city. And create ways for folks to understand not only, you know, this is how you can get down, but this is also, you know, more eyes on what you're doing and more input on what you're doing.
It's got to be a tough job.
Yeah, man, the art world, they say it's changing, Darius. What do you think, bro? You think it's changing for you? How has it changed for you, maybe, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it has changed for me. But you know, that change wasn't overnight. You know what I mean? Shit, that change was 15 years of struggle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As Jamil says, what you say, getting it out the mud?
Hey, I'm telling you.
Yeah, getting it out the mud, yeah.
I mean, even longer than that, I'll say 15 years. I'm being real short. I mean, like 25 years, you know. So it's changed only because I've pushed to change. You know what I mean? Within me and my community, that is. You know what I'm saying?
So there, sorry to cut you off, because I like to get like a kind of a timeline, right? So I can get a better understanding of like
and we have 3 minutes to go live, just FYI, 3 minutes.
Okay. You know what? Then I'm gonna save it. Because you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that we're pre-recording this. I didn't know we were going live. We're going live?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm gonna just save it for that. So then let me break it down. So how did you want the show? Because I just wanted to get Darius's general timeline and what he does now to get his art out, and then kind of like open up that conversation. So because I think we haven't had a chance to really get what artists generally do now to market themselves and to get themselves out there. So I think it'll be a perfect opportunity for Darius to kind of explain, to explain his story, how he started and how he got to where he's at now and what he does currently for his work and and his marketing. Brand,
that'd be totally
all that.
helpful.
I kind of want to talk about and it'll be a nice transition into our conversation into what we can kind of do to help expand on that through an NFT drop or collection, taking one of your canvas pieces and just making it into an NFT and doing something exciting for that.
And maybe the unlockable. So Darius, what artists are doing is they'll create some type of piece of work that they want to put, as they say, on the blockchain, turn into a contract. The contract is simply letting a collector know the sort of metadata, the details about the work, how you might want to license their use of the work. And then also, because digital and online is huge. People want to be able to show it. People may want to be able to put it on their website and say, I own this. So that'd be the licensing part. And then the
digital
royalties.
Ownership, right.
Yeah, and then the royalties is the big thing.
Everything's protected.
So you sell a piece of work to one person now, right? Yeah. One person or a company will buy your work. And then what happens with the NFT is if that person decided to sell that work again, you would now be getting royalties 10 to 15% on every subsequent sale. No doubt, no stopping it, every sale from henceforth. So imagine 200 paintings a year turned into NFTs with the originals as simply, what do they say? The original might be a, what do they call it? What is it called, Jamil? It's it's the spec copy or the copy that you're creating these derivatives from, the digital version from.
Just the physical?
Yeah, the physical is typically called a
What, the legacy piece?
Well, not the legacy piece, but the piece that's the sort of
oh, you know what? Damn it, I think I know what you're talking about too, and I just
it's the sort of piece that you're saying this is the point of reference, or this is the thing that's inspiring me. Whatever that word is escaping me right now. Okay. But needless to say, what people have done is they've either made that unlockable, the actual physical item that they mail to the person, or they take that physical and for the purpose of scarcity, meaning now there's only a digital copy.
Right.
They show a video of them destroying the original. I don't know if you could do that to your baby.
And it's a part of the campaign too. Yeah, like
it's part of the campaign. It's part of the thing that
it's shock value. It's building value. It's
how did it?
Super dramatic. Yeah, super dramatic. But so Ira, where you want to get it going?
Live right now.
Perfect.
Hey, am I well lit? Am I good? Hold on.
Huh?
Hold on. I'm good. All right.
All right. Looks like I'll be able to put the description in after.
All right, cool.
But we're going live right now on YouTube. And the idea here is to continue this amazing conversation.
Oh, man. Glad to be here this morning.
So we are live, and I'm here with my man, Jamil.
Top of the morning.
Right?
You already know what's going on.
And with someone who right now I can only give a virtual hug to, and that is Mr. Awesome, Mr. Darius Quarles, man.
Oh, man.
Durham artist.
Oh, man. Good morning. Thanks for having me. Virtual hug right back. Jamil, what up?
Yay. Oh,
what's going on, Darius, man? Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure.
Yes, for sure.
So we were talking about going back. Well, I was gonna say, we were talking about going back. We just been sitting here having a great conversation with this amazing Durham, North Carolina artist. Amazing artist, 5 Points Gallery artist. If you're in the Durham area, check him out. He's amazing. He is awesome. We're talking about his work, and we go back, Darius and I go back to me purchasing a piece of his artwork that when I walked up to it, what did I say? Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is quite literally an archival piece because it was, I wish I had it in my office in here.
Yeah, me too.
But it's in, yeah, right. Wait a minute. So where is the piece? The Laundry Day. Where is that piece? Where, well,
the image, I have the image.
Not where is it, but do you even have any images of it? Do you have any?
Oh yeah, I do. I do. You think about that time, it tells you
details or anything.
It tells you the digital camera, resolutions were bad, but I have those images of that piece, several actually.
Yeah. Okay. So this piece.
Yeah. What's this piece about? Yeah. Talk about this piece. I'm interested.
Yeah.
So when I saw this piece, we were talking about this when we first got on the call, but I was just thinking to myself, oh my God, when I walked up to it. So at the time, this was what do we say, like 2008, 7?
It was deep. It was deep.
It was deep.
It's been a minute ago.
It was deep. Yeah,
right,
it was a while ago.
Right.
When we were younger and more beautiful. But
y'all still got it. You got it.
I do remember those days. And look at me now.
Right?
Look at
right.
You're fine. This is.
No, come on, bro. You look great. But so this piece was amazing because when I saw it, I realized, oh my God, I'm looking at 7 pieces of artwork in one painting. And basically it was it was quite literally, because when I asked you, you said, no, this is what I was looking at. So I painted what I was looking at.
Yeah.
So it was a laundry room with the washer dryer, French doors sort of framing the photo. Yeah. I'm sorry, the actual painting.
Yeah.
And it was six other paintings that you had painted.
Yeah.
Which were already hanging on those doors.
Yes.
Leading to that laundry room.
Yeah.
So it was
that's
3
like
on
some
one side,
Inception stuff right there, right? Like paintings within paintings.
You know what? And that reminds me, Jamil, as we also often talk about NFTs, it was layering at another level.
Yeah.
Right. So it's that layering. We always talk about layering in NFTs and how important that is, or we hear about it.
Yep.
It was layering, but it was layering at a level of this is not only what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing in my life, so maybe even 8 layers, because it was not only what you were seeing, but it was your personal experience, because it quite literally was life, bro.
It was life, and it's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm
trying to. We talk about it like it's not even that it doesn't exist anymore, but it does.
It's crazy. Let me tell you. I still paint in that same room.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we've kept our kids in the same place. We've never. So I still paint in the same room. That foyer no longer. The foyer is real done now. It doesn't have the artwork in it anymore. Because back then I was actually trying to create my own gallery in my house, right? So I do this work. And I'd hang stuff up, it was for the kid, the kids, I've had kids that were small go up into like, they don't like, couldn't even speak, but see it, and it would generate energy, right? So that's why it looked like it looked. And, and I raised, and my wife worked, so she allowed me to try to paint. So if I had my babies here, that's why it was like the laundry was going, you know what I mean? I didn't paint behind me, was probably a kid crawling around, maybe with a tube of paint in his hand or something, or her hand, or his hand. So, so that's all I had. All I had was that. I had to paint what I saw, And my wife used to be my very first guinea pig. I painted her a lot.
Wow.
I mean, in every way, and people would buy those joints. I mean, I have one guy who bought that, and I did art for him and his house and his wife for years. And I one day went to his bedroom, and there's my wife in his room, on our couch at the time with her feet hanging off and looking a little sexy. I was like, wow. But anyway, so I just painted things I knew. You know what I mean? So like behind me. That's
right. I'm digging that. I'm digging what's behind you. What's that called?
This is called Under the Covers. Again, this is my wife's feet. This is
I love
paint.
it.
It's older paint, but it's all I had in the lab that was done. So I just put it behind me, right?
Nice.
But again, it's her feet. And we were just coming from a wedding reception, too much to drink. The greenery were actually the covers of the bed. Her feet were just kind of hanging, peeking through the sheets on the bed. We were like laying in bed, like talking about the night. So I just turned the whole thing into a painting. So
now this is amazing. Yeah. So what? Did you take a picture on your phone and or did you?
Yeah. So I had I love my wife's feet. I've always have. So in the bed that night, we're a little tipsy. I'm a little silly, right? So we get in the bed.
Right.
So I took a picture over the next 2-3 weeks. I just turned the sheets.
That's so dope.
She knew what was up when you took that picture.
Oh, she knows. She knows
the vibes.
Yeah, she's been there before. And what's crazy, before photos, she would pose. So I would sketch her, and then I would paint her. And that was back in the day. You know what I mean?
You was on your Leonardo DiCaprio, huh? Titanic. You was like, paint me like one of your. Oh, okay.
So that was how I thought artists had to go. I thought artists needed to go grassroots.
Right.
Draw it out. Make somebody sit there, draw it out. That's what you would see growing up, right? So that's how I would do. And I started painting things I saw around me, so that's where we are.
Mm.
So now, Darius, so I'm curious, because I would love to I want to briefly tell you about my experiences when I went to North Carolina and experienced just briefly the art scene. Now you're from Durham, born and raised?
No, I'm from a small town called Louisa, Virginia. I'm actually
right outside of Richmond, right?
Yeah, I'm actually talking to Louisa folks right now. I'm trying to put them on your YouTube. Yeah, I'm from Louisa.
So when did you go ahead. And when did you go to North Carolina? How long have you been living there for?
Man, I got here in 2000. Yeah.
2000.
Yeah.
And is this and were you already in arts, or were you already like painting by then, or no?
Not even. I moved here and I hadn't really painted much at all. So I moved here and I got in the scene. We saw something in the paper and like, yo, I mean, I was dabbling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always.
Okay. So let's just do a quick little, slug line on before that. Yeah. Were you always a creative person? You always like drawing. Always. So you were always, in school, you leaned more towards, the arts and all that. So you were already that kid, right?
Yeah, and I was a bad kid. So I would never pass art class. I wouldn't stay in the class long enough, but I could do the work. But it would just got boring artwork, right? You know what I mean? So, as I got older, I got to Navy 94. I never drew. I moved to Atlanta in 95 or whatever, went to school. and I wanted to be an architect. That was my thing. I wanted to be an architect. I went to Morris Brown College, didn't do well.
Wow.
I was in and out 2 months. I was out of there, back to working a regular job. But in the process, I was still drawing. I was still doing little I would go places and draw things, tuck them away. I wouldn't put them
like a habit or a hobby. It was just kind of just something you did on the side. Like
I had to. You know
I
had to. It was something at that point. I had to get something out. I had to get it out. I could see things. Colors were different. People moved different. It was, the things that people said to me were different. So I put those things down on paper.
And you captured it. You wanted to capture that. You had to express that somehow. You wanted to get that out somehow.
Even to this day, I use those sketches from back then because they make sense still. I might put them in a piece just to make sense. But yeah, so then I got here. I started painting, started working, fell in love with Durham. I learned the city. Then I started really, really honing my skills and people and doing landscapes. So that, then I started creating my own, not creating my own, learn how to build my own frames and taking my sketches and transferring them to paper or canvas it was a learning curve. It was a learning curve. It took a lot of time, but basically, I was in the game, but didn't know how to get in the game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
As far as art goes, it took me to get in my 30s to understand what was necessary to put these ideas on canvas where you can see it. And Durham helped a lot. So when I got to Durham in 2000, it was it was like you just pull into the gas station. You're like, okay, Durham filled me up, gave me inspiration, showed me how to move through the scene, showed me how to position myself properly. And then 10 years ago, Durham helped me fall my way into this gallery, which then injected more heat, injected more layers of what I can possibly do. Because now, guess what? I have a machine behind me I don't have to put all my paintings in one painting. Somebody can go see my other paintings now. You know what I mean? And they can see it anytime they want now. So that was a machine that kept the eyes glued to what I was doing, or myself and other gallery members were doing, but it kept us in the scene. So Durham was that way for me as I transitioned. You know what I mean?
And that's awesome. And I hear that you've the type of influence your environment had on you, right? And that's kind of where I wanted to share my experiences of when I went to Charlotte for the first time, and just visually taking in the scene, from the architecture to the way art is injected into the landscape and architecture of murals and just these structures and just these installations, like down to the lighting. Like, it was super cool, like to just see how much it was a part of the actual city. And I've never been to Durham, and I'm terrible at geography, so I'm not sure how far Durham is from Charlotte, but I can feel that you kind of have that similar type of experience to where your surroundings kind of, leaned into your artistry. Would you say that that's, because you started from sketching and drawing, and then you said you expanded to putting it onto frames and now having these pieces. Now, and I want the audience to understand, who you are and what you do right now for art. Ira was showing a dope Muhammad Ali.
Oh yeah, let me show it right quick.
And
why not?
Yes, and so this is, so you started sketching, and now so yeah. Why don't you break that down real quick? So what was that timeline like to where you got to this point with this Ali piece? Or pieces, I should say, but it's one big piece though. But wait until you see these.
I still sketch a ton. I still do that. You know what I mean? So with the Ali piece in particular, I was already building canvases, and I just want to build something different. So I just made all these different shapes and sizes or whatever. Like you were saying earlier, just kind of got in the ground with like my blocks and see what worked and put them together and what made sense. So what I would do with this particular one, I was taking my images and scanning them onto transparency, like your old high school, grade school transparency. Your teacher would put on the board, that kind of thing. So that's how I started almost keeping all my stuff. So that's why I have all these hard copies, pencil sketches of things like this. So then I would get, I would sketch it out, put it on that. I would put it on projector, shine it on the wall. Then I would do certain pieces, and then I'd go and I'd fill everything in. Then I'd make the whole piece. But back in the early days, I would take a sketch, a 5x, a little swatch. I would take it somewhere and get it blown up to the size I want to actually make the canvas.
Right.
Then I would lay it over my canvas. I would do a carbon thing and I would sketch my idea onto the canvas. It was painstaking.
Right.
I mean, painstaking. But at that time, that's all I knew. I was literally a starving artist. I didn't know how I was supposed to get this onto this canvas and to look at it. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to make the transition. So that was then, but now kind of the same concept. Sometimes I do things right onto the canvas, especially if it's a piece that I'm emotive about. If I have a blank canvas, and I'm in one of my zones and I'm emotional, I don't sketch nothing. It just goes right out. Like Jay-Z, one take, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, Guru. Let's get it again. This time it's for the money. You know, and you know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I do when I'm just freestyling. I'm really feeling it in the zone and emotional. But you know, most things go from sketch to a transparency, maybe into the canvas or to the wall. You know,
that's amazing. I love that process.
How long did it take to complete this, man? Sorry.
Well, yeah, that one was about maybe 4 months. Because the technique took a long time. Like again, I was going from scratch, didn't know what I was going to do. I knew I wanted to do Ali, but I wanted to do Ali differently. I didn't want to do him on canvas. Everybody's done an Ali pose, but I wanted to make him different. So it took a minute to get to the state of this. I just had tons of different shapes, and I put them together. And when it came up to what it came out of, I said, okay, now Ali's ready. So so about
and you made these frames too.
Yeah, I made these frames.
And that's amazing. Wow.
Then I stretched it with canvas.
Yep.
Yeah,
wow.
So
that's incredible.
You know, and you can't tell, but some of them are deeper than the others. So you got like a 2-inch, and you got a 3-inch, you got an inch down. So you'll see it kind of wave if you look at it if you actually saw it in person.
So many texturized, right? Yeah. That's what it brings it out a little. It just yeah. That's wow.
Gives it a 3D feel.
Yeah.
Right. That's incredible. Yeah. So what made you jump from like your just sketches to like say I want to blow it up? Like I want it big.
Yeah.
What made you get into that?
Because I felt like I was keeping all this love for myself. I wouldn't let people see it. You know, people in the house were seeing it. It was this big, couldn't go nowhere. So I wanted to be able to just I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to do what I saw people doing. Like, how do they do that? So it was just that passion, and it was just I needed to. And you know, I'm a hustler, and I had to be sure I was in the game properly, like everyone else. So I had to be sure my story was told. I didn't want it to go unheard, and I felt I had something to say. So I went to that next step, and I started going larger and larger and larger. And then once I couldn't buy canvases, I was too poor at the time to go to Michael's, to go somewhere and actually spend $30 on a canvas. I couldn't buy them, so I learned how to make them, and I had to start making them now. I make canvases up to like 13, 14 feet out of wood, and so you know, so I've been doing that ever since. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, that's a start.
So now fast forward to now. What does your process look like now? Do you do commissions? Are you only in galleries? Are you like, do you do installations for landscapes and all that? Do you have deals with people and businesses to do? Run us through what that looks like for you today.
Yeah, oh man. So right now I do everything. The last thing that come under my subject matter was murals. I did a mural in 2017 downtown Durham. And that's opened me up to the mural game. So I got mural game now. I do commissions year round. I probably do 30, 40 commissions. And I think that people that ask me to do commissions know that I'm going to give them a commission. It's going to be a little different than they normally get. It's going to have a different flow to it. And it's going to be one of a kind. You're not going to see it done like this. If you know, and I do that all the time. And I like that. They allow me to be free with my style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we see from the piece from behind you to the Ali piece, you have a style. And was that always there, or how did that develop? Like, I love this type of, you know, from what I'm getting, it gives me a real cool like comic type vibe mixed with a little modern pop art type looking deal, like with these layers and these texture, like topographical, like, you know, type looking stuff. Like it's super dope. Like, how did that come about? You know,
and it's back to your earlier question about sketches. When I would sketch, I'd have pencil lines all over the paper. So when I scanned it, I just kept all my pencil lines in everything I'd done. So that's that style.
So it added that layers.
Yeah. So if you look at the piece that she has up right now, this is called The Mental Escape of the Restrained Ego. This is one of my earlier paintings where I'm giving you several things in my world. But if you look on the left corner where the little blue, underneath the yellow, it's like a line of blue. The blues go from light blue, dark blue, to the yellow. Right. That's how I used to paint. So I would always paint with, I could never, I didn't know how to like gradually make the color change. So I would do a light color, then I would put a black line. Then I mix a little darker color. Then I do that color. Then I put a black line.
Okay.
So early on, I was separating my colors with the black line because I didn't know how to actually paint.
Right.
Then so I was creating that step gradual inclination of color, light or dark, with black. The same thing with my grass, but now I do better. The trees, same concept. So that's why I have so many lines, and those are paint lines. Those are paintbrush lines. Every line that I put in every paint I do, that's a paintbrush. That's not a marker. That's not a pen. That's acrylic black or Mars black. And that's a paintbrush. So I like it.
It's so vivid though. It pops though. You know, like I know. You know. Go ahead, Ira. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say that one of the things that I love about the work is that it's always in motion.
Yeah.
And that's something that I find so satisfying about the work. I love this particular painting. When I first saw it, I was just like, oh my God, there's a lot in here to unpack.
There's a lot to unpack.
From the title all the way to the actual work and all the elements of the work.
I love it.
Right.
I want to see it in real life, to just sit there and like gawk at it and like just ingest it all.
Yeah, right.
You know what's crazy? Again, we said earlier, we didn't talk about this now, but earlier the legacy part. This is the legacy part I'm talking about. I still have this piece because people see it. Wow. Because people see it's old. It's old. It's like old, and people see this, but they're not getting it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You gotta dig deep into artist artwork. You gotta know artist artwork. If it's not a bird on a tree and you know that, then walk on and see it, know what it is. But look deep and dig deep, because these are my fingers at the top and I'm pinching my head. I'm trying to release the creative juice. But if you look at the bottom, the whole piece is shaped like a head. This is my hair, the bottom's the chin, and they're tie downs. I'm tied to the ground. That's the restrained ego.
I see them. Yes.
So so if you look at it, it's like at the time my neighbor had a boat. My wife is pregnant in here. I was watching a Red Sox game. I was in Japan and doing my military career. There's a lot of things. There used to be a lamp in my room. There's an outside lamp where the cul-de-sac. There's so many things in this piece.
Wait, is that I was going to ask. That's a fence. That's not like barracks or anything, right?
That's a fence. Yeah, it's a fence.
Okay. That's a fence.
Yeah.
So, man, this ain't even fair. I can't, like, it's like, because I'm on my phone.
You're on the phone.
Like, I'm over here like this, and I'm just like, I just need to see. So what's the actual size of this piece?
This piece is like 48 by 30.
Yeah.
Oh man, see, come on, I gotta look up at it. I gotta be in
it. It's huge and heavy. It's huge and heavy.
Oh man.
Because I think I used some wood I found outside to build this frame. My grandma used to send me old sheets, off her bed when I made my first canvases. So this might be one of them. That's
wow.
She would send me her sheets. I would use found wood. I had a hand saw and a level.
Wow.
Take these canvases. Now,
wow, brother.
So this whole thing has a story. And you know what? And I'm not sure if we were discussing this before going live, but we were recording it, so we do have the content. So, but anyways, you were explaining how you went to. I think you might have. You went to school to become an architect, and see how that just kind of translates into your art now in building these canvases now, and then doing it as a part of your work. It's actually a part of your identity now.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, you've always been that type of person, yet it kind of steered you into who you're supposed to be. And it's funny because of course it's all serendipitous, because you say, man, I have no money for canvases. I can't go to Michael's and drop $30 here and there like all lolly got. No. Oh, next best thing is you get creative. It's DIY time.
I told you, Darius, when I first started, and Jamil, you probably noticed, I first started back in April of painting again. I'm gonna say this: there is not enough money in the world. I found myself over at Jerry's, which is where we buy a lot of supplies from.
Lord, Jerry.
And I'm like, I can't afford it. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
I can't afford it, but I gotta do it.
Corner in the market. So it's absolutely incredible. Like, you know, just
hold on a second. Question, guys. Who's Kia?
That's my cousin, Kia.
Do we want to invite Kia into the room?
I mean, yeah. I just said I sent her a link. I sent her links. That's my cousin. I thought.
Yes.
That's my Because I was
all
on.
Right, look. It's Snapchat. 4 minutes. It's 4 minutes to 9. Jamil, I know you're gonna have to leave because you are teaching. Tell Darius and as Kia is joining us. Tell the audience what again you're doing, bro.
Yeah, I'm a videographer, and my part-time job here at a public access station for the summer, we hold a film camp. So 9 o'clock we start. I'm actually here right now, and I got a couple kids. Now we're in the elite program with kids who are older, who've been here before, and they're gonna edit their own stuff. We're gonna teach them how to edit what they just filmed yesterday. So bunch of my little proteges in there, man. I tell Ira all the time, the next Ava DuVernay is gonna be coming out of there. The next Shaka King's gonna come out of there. The next Tarantino. So, you know, I'm excited. I love it. So but Darius, we are absolutely gonna be linking up. We need to talk more. We need to stay in touch. Like, I love your artwork, man. And I want us to really talk about strategy, about how we can help you. So Ira, we have to stay in touch with them. Again, man, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man.
Definitely look forward to it, man.
Do that, man.
And let's keep the conversation going now that we've got family.
Keep going. Don't mind me.
Family, come on.
Hey, pass it forward, man. Love. Hey, that's crazy. So Ira, I thought I can just invite folks to this. So I just sent a link. To my Quarles folks. I thought the whole world was watching, but that's all good. The world can come with my folks.
It is, bro.
There you go.
Let's keep it moving. Let's keep doing it.
Yeah.
Tell me, so this is the thing. I know Jamil wanted to talk to you about the marketing aspect and how, so I'm curious about one thing, and that is, are you one of the founding artists of this gallery?
Well, yeah, I am. When it was called Pleiades when it first opened up, and
you know what, I wanted to ask you about that because Pleiades was stuck in my head, and I was thinking like, wait, I know that name. I thought it was associated with the gallery that you're working at. So tell me about what happened, the transition and all that.
Yeah, so Pleiades came in effect. Now it was two ladies in Durham actually found a location, invested in it, and then they went out and they vetted artists. And I was one of those first 10. I built the walls in that place, and anyway, I support it. Anyway, so now moving forward, 2 years ago, Pleiades dissolved. Those two ladies decided to back out. They didn't want to do it anymore, and in the process, we really thought we were going to go under. It was kind of a bad way to do things, as far as I was concerned. But in that issue, the remaining gallery members and myself turned it around. We put got the money up, and we changed our name. Changed, the business structure is still the same. About the community, we still a collective of sorts, but we changed our name, and we have never looked back. We have absolutely blown the game out of the water ever since, because it's so difficult sometimes when people do things that aren't really hungry. See, like the gallery was a good idea, but everybody involved, they weren't hungry. It was just a look. It was just to have something in
like a flex.
A flex. My thing is, if you're going to flex, you got to work out too. Show your muscles. Let's get hard. You know what I'm saying? So now with 5 points, we flex. We show our muscles. We're good for the community, and there's nobody bigger than the other. We're kind of all in one space. We're making moves. A lot of us do things different. And it's not all hungry. in there. Sometimes people do art because they just, do art. And it's not because they're looking to change the world. Me personally, I'm trying to change the world, and I'm trying to create that legacy. And 5 points is definitely going to be part of that.
Well, you know what? I want to do this right quick. Kia, how you doing?
Kia.
I'm good.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you for joining us. I'm so happy that Darius invited you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
This is Black Tech Futures Media Weekly Chat, episode 21. Jamil and I are so happy we've been doing this for 21 weeks straight, making sure that we're putting the work in and actually speaking to artists, speaking to creators, speaking to people about primarily the art game, art sales, non-fungible tokens, NFTs. Mm-hmm. And I thought about Darius because when I met him many, many moons ago, and this particular piece of work sitting in front of us, High Chair, I actually see it and I think to myself, it reminds me of something that I know and love, which is the first piece that I bought from Darius called Laundry Day. And so, I'm happy that you're with us, Kia, and having this conversation too. Tell me, what do you do? Where are you and what do you do?
Oh, I just realized my video's not on.
Yeah, let me see your beautiful face. Join us. There you go. What's up, sis?
Hello.
I know I'm
actually
special now,
right outside
family.
of Boston.
Okay, you're up here with me.
Yeah.
I'm in Connecticut.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
I actually have I just moved and some of Darius's art is still on my floor. I don't have it hung yet, but yeah, I work at a tech company.
Get out.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh my God, there's so many synergies here.
Yeah.
But something I do want to understand, and we were talking too about NFTs in terms of computational art and creating series and creating collections, so thousands of this particular image presented in thousands of different ways. And just trying to work with Black artists, Indigenous artists, Latina artists, folks who are not aware of newer ways that the art market is actually changing and developing online. We talk a lot about crypto art on this show, but I thought about Darius because I also want to make sure that folks are aware of some of the most amazing artwork, particularly work that I love. And as I discover new artists, obviously I want to communicate with them, but the mainstays, the people who've been doing it and putting in that work, I thought about Darius because your work is so amazingly, I just feel so much whenever I look at it.
No.
It just makes, like I said earlier, it makes me feel good.
Thank you. That's good. That's what's up. That's what I want you to feel.
I have a good friend of mine who I'm working with, Kamora Harrington, who runs Kamora's Cultural Corner here in Hartford. And last year she went on a tour last November with poets, I think like 5 different creative people, poets, visual artists, photographers, painter, and they went on a bus tour. And this was after the George Floyd murder. A lot of folks, obviously we know, deeply impacted by that murder. And also the idea of sharing Black art. And the tour was called Black Art Heals Tour. And I bring that phrase up only because Black art truly heals. And I think that must be what I'm feeling.
Well, good.
Right?
I'm your doctor.
And Dr. Quarles in the house, in the building, giving the art. Art. But yeah, man, tell us about, and so you're a collector, Kia, you collected his work. Tell us about, though, Darius, the marketplace. Tell us about what it's like to sell art. Who are your collectors?
Oh man.
What are your collectors like?
Oh man. At this point, they become to be. At first, I mean, I've had just my friends were collectors, and they didn't realize they were collectors back in the day until we got to a point, and they said, "Oh man, I didn't realize I have 20 pieces of your artwork when you were just trying to.
I must be a collector.
Yeah, I must be a collector, so, they're black, white, they're brown, they're old, they're young. Some can't even speak the language. I can't speak their language. Over the years that's become, so I think I've been blessed to have every walk of life really find something in the work that I've done that they've wanted it more than once or twice. I have some people that have like 30 pieces of my art. And
I believe it.
And to me, that's amazing. And they live close. So I go over their house, I can actually see a timeline from when I paint high heel shoes to where I'm painting something really far to the left. You know what I mean? So that's a really good timeline. So I'm just, I got them all. My aim is to get them all. I want to bait the hook with art, and I want everybody to jump in the boat. You know what I mean? I want to get everybody on deck. That's my goal. That's my goal.
All the butts in the seats.
I want all butts in the seats. That's right. Have multiple people.
Right on.
And I think by me doing so many different subject matters.
Yeah.
Like I can paint anything. I think I can paint anything. So
I believe it.
That opens up the door for something everybody may like. You know what I mean? I mean, it could be childlike. It could be really, it could be X-rated almost. It could be definitely R-rated. And it could be in a surreal way to where you're like, what is going on? What is he talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? Where was he? What is he smoking? You know what I mean? So that's,
exactly.
But I think that art collectors, when they really collect from an artist, they know that artist.
Yeah.
Lots of times, if they're lit, they know this person. The people that have my art, they know me. We've laughed. I've made them laugh. We might have had a beer. We might have done some crazy stuff. We might, we might be from two total walks of life. And I really love when I can cross somebody over into my world that never would have thought they'd be in my world. When they're like, God, did you paint that? Like, like, oh my God, I never knew that, so I've been blessed that way.
I was having this conversation yesterday with Kimura, and this was about buying from people. Do you buy from people you don't like? Conversely, people buy from people they like. Kia, would you agree with that? And so I came to the conclusion and realization that maybe with art, but not with everything, because we shop at places where we may not personally know the CEOs, or we're where we are contextually in our environments, and we have to go shop at certain places because that's all there is. And we may not agree with their practices, or we may not like their practices, but we still transfer money with these people. And so the question becomes, is it only artists that we buy from who we like? Would you say that, Kia?
I don't know. I know, Darius, you've told us stories about, people being surprised of who you are, whether because you're young or because you're a person of color, but they just connected to your art on an emotional level, or they, love the color, they loved what it was saying to them. And then when they met you, they were like, oh, I don't think that they might have purchased your art if they had met you first. I think they connected to your pieces on a deeper level than something that's surface level. And I love that.
Yeah. It happens so much, I like when I can bring somebody in and they're fell in love with my piece, especially the gallery happens all the time, because art, sometimes people see art from a distance. If they can assume what it is, they may not get close to it. You know what I mean? So I see them come in a gallery sometimes and they'll walk around for a while and they'll like everybody's art or not. And then they're like, oh, I really like this one. And I start talking, like, oh, wow, okay, this is yours. We really love you. And then that's how you bring them in. And then they'll come back and they're like, well, we're here to see what you got this month. That's the idea. The idea is that they may not buy for like years, but the idea is that they want to almost build to know who you are, know what you do, know your process, know what you got going on in your mind. And then like, you know what? We think we're ready, Darius. You know what I mean? And that happens a lot because, but then also says, then you've built a friend along the way, no matter what age, no matter what the color is. And I think my upbringing from Louisiana, my grandparents, they really gave me that jewel to be able to move in any circle, to behave and communicate with anybody respectfully, you know what I mean, and remain open. So I think that's a gem. I don't think everybody can do that. So that's a question. It's hard to answer, but it's what it is.
Do you find that working with the gallery, because this comes up, I'm on Clubhouse a lot. Do you find that working with a gallery has, and I know you would probably say it has enhanced your ability to actually sell? Because prior to that, you were self-selling, and I know that you were on a couple different platforms selling.
Yeah.
And interesting, of course, because I was following you, throughout some of these points in your life, as I saw you publicly online or somewhere,
right,
and Pleiades and now 5 Points Gallery. When I saw that, I also thought about Atlanta, right? Little 5 Points.
Yeah, Little 5 Points.
Which is an incredible art district out in Atlanta. I guess
there too. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the gallery, so there are a lot of folks right now, especially when we talk about NFTs, the non-fungible token, who are talking about the gallery experience and saying these galleries are selling our work and helping us auction NFTs. I think more and more galleries are getting into that particular market, but we're also finding that people are, particularly visual artists, are feeling constrained by these experiences because of the large percentages that galleries end up taking from artists' work. And so a lot of the conversation around NFTs, and that's my question. Do you find yourself ever thinking about that? You think it's worth it at this point to continue to do that, rather than do something that allows you to take 100% of your value? So yeah, talking about value for a minute and how that sort of middleman experience is working for you.
Yeah. So the middleman experience.
Or is it time to level up?
Huh? Yeah. Well, you never know. You never know. I've been so fortunate. I used to sell so much art before I got into the gallery on my own. Well, 100% was mine. And I still do that. I still sell probably twice as much art outside the gallery on my own than I do in the gallery. Now, the gallery takes a ton of money. Mine doesn't. We have an 80-20 split. So the artist keeps 80% of their money. And we're one of the few galleries probably countrywide that has such low ratio.
That is a very low ratio, yeah.
Just in Raleigh, I do shows in Raleigh, even in Chapel Hill and Durham, they're taking 50% off the gate.
Yeah.
And those galleries, and I've done well in those galleries too. Over the years, I have shows there, but I've become a kind of a snob, because I'm in a gallery where we're a family. You can have 80%, we take 20, no problem. That's going back to, so I've become a snob, and I love being in the gallery and I love selling that way.
Yeah.
Of course, we want all of our money, no matter what it is. And people always ask me, hey man, you really need to go up on your prices. And I probably do. And I tell these people, I sell 10 paintings at $600 every week. And I may have one painting for $5,000 that I hold on for 7 months.
Yeah.
My thing is, I'd rather have this money now. Yeah. And I'd rather have 80% of it through the gallery now than to wait 7 months and get nothing. And then try to allow my self-selling to get 100%. It's one of those things I used to do that always failed me. So I like the medium I'm in right now. I love to be able to do my commissions because my commissions always come to me. Yeah. As you were saying earlier, the platforms I had earlier, I still have those platforms. So people know me as Virginia Henry, but they also know me through 5 Points, which everything runs through 5 Points, which is a percentage type thing. So I'm kind of stuck between the best of both worlds right now.
Yeah. Why not if you can,
Yeah, so when I do my murals, when I do large projects, like I'm doing an album cover now for the Mint Julep Band that's coming out in Durham. I'm doing that album cover, which I've charged a flat fee. I get that whole thing. It's not a lot, but I know that album cover, because this band is really good, they're gonna take this album cover, it's gonna go places. So
That's right.
I do a mural about something in Durham, which is coming up also as well, and I've done it in the past with like Little Brother. Those type of things go places. I may not get the full percentage of the money, but I'm all about 100% customer engagement in my art. If they see that art and they're full about it, and I didn't get but $25, I don't even care, because I know that that person will hit me up later or find me later. I'm like, yo, we saw that piece you done. We love it. I'm paid.
Yeah.
I'm paid.
Yeah.
So if my situation was different, where I didn't have the gallery and my outside hustle, I'd have a better answer. Although I do want to get into the NFT if I can, because there's nothing like making money when you sleep. And
thank you.
And you know what I'm
and
saying?
You can, brother. That's what we're here for.
I'm gonna tell you, it's not like waking up and seeing the Bank of America account that's gone up by a couple G. You know, ain't nothing like that.
Argue
you know
with
what I mean? So that's always good. So I never shy away from making some money or spreading that love within the art I do.
Yeah. Now, Kia, let me ask you a question. Now, you not only collect Darius's work, I'm sure you love art. If you collect Darius's work, not only you love your cousin, but you totally love art. Tell me about being a collector.
Oh,
I'm making assumptions though here. I'm making assumptions.
She's a collector.
Because looking behind me, man. Look, I mean, you know, we got Africa back here. We got,
yeah.
I mean, I love Darius's art so much. It's always so colorful and fun. And I mean, I don't know if I would call myself a collector fully, because I think that's a very adult. I'm not
yes,
Come on, you're an adult now.
I know.
Only if you want to be, though.
Yeah, adult. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much I could speak to collecting, but I do love Darius's art very much.
Nice.
She's a collector in that sense. It's all that matters.
That's right. That's true. Well, listen, guys, this is the end of our show. I'm gonna call this the extended version of episode 21.
This is love.
Thank you so much, Darius, for joining me this morning, and Jamel this morning.
Thank you for having me. And I'm glad my cousin here. This is dope, y'all. I never did.
Yes.
This is love, right?
Right. And I hadn't even thought about it.
We got something nobody else has done. This is beautiful.
This is the first time. I love this. Yes.
We're always here to support Darius.
Hey, that's love.
And that's beautiful.
And by the way, Ira, Kia's a genius, and she does some amazing things. So we ever do, what is it, biometrics? What is it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, what do you do in tech?
I work at a robotics company.
Robotics.
Get out.
You said that.
I support Girls for Technology. Big plug real quick.
There you go.
Hartford, Connecticut, Girls for Technology.
There you go.
.org. They are inspiring and empowering the next generation of Black girls and Latino girls to become STEM leaders.
Yeah.
And we would love to have you just pop in and say, hey, this is what I do. This is who I am. And you can too.
Yes. Let me know. I'm coming to that one too. I'm gonna eavesdrop on yours, kid, when that happens. That's gonna be love.
You know what? We have our meetings. I don't know. We have a class going right now on entrepreneurship for girls. And these are high school girls, and they're getting paid, earn while you learn, to become entrepreneurs. And so they've got team projects. They've got 2 teams. We've got team projects coming up next week. And then we're going to be fully online. So we've been doing a hybrid face-to-face and online. But we would love to maybe have you pop into the Zoom and just say hi. Yeah. And this is what I do, and you can too. Because we really want to show them, that this is the face of STEM, and you can be in STEM, and maybe just share your experience, Kia.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to.
All right, Darius, Kia, y'all better put me in touch with her.
I will.
Darius,
I will
share my contacts, bro.
I will. I got you, baby. I got you.
Thank you again so much, Darius. I'm going to be connecting with you on these NFTs. We got to figure out how to get some of your reference. That's the word I was looking for, reference. Like reference sketches. Somehow we got to get these things into an NFT collection because I believe in my heart. And currently I'm working with a computational artist, internationally known, amazing VR, AR artist who's doing some work, working on NFT. I'm advising him and promoting his work. But brother, please, man, think about it.
I will.
Let's maybe play with it.
I will.
Let's get you a digital wallet.
I'm in.
Let's get you, yo, man, let's get it popping.
I'm all in.
Yay!
I'm all in.
All right. So everybody, thank you for joining us. This is Black Tech Futures Media Weekly Chat, episode 21. We are here every week with amazing talent, awesome artists. Jamil had to go teach those young folks film, and I am definitely going to be leaving. But I want to tell you before I go, NFTcreativetraders.com. That's where you can find all of our shows, all of our episodes. Black Tech Futures Media is where you can find all of our videos as well on YouTube. So please check us out. Twitter, YouTube, Discord. What else we got? Oh my God. Website. We got, I don't know what else. I can't even imagine. Facebook, Black Tech Futures Media. We are definitely everywhere we want to be right now. Thank you, Darius, so much for joining us. Thank you, Kia. And Darius, this is the last day of vacation for you, right, bro? Or is it over now?
Hey, listen, I got back yesterday. So I'm hitting the ground running today.
Putting in that work.
I'm juiced. I'm overloaded. I'm ready to go. I needed it.
I love it.
Yes, yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody. And as usual, next week, I don't know what we got coming up, but I know in August, we got the West Coast coming up. So that's going to be pre-recorded. This brother is a musician and he's killing the NFT game. I am not even sure he's a rapper. It's crazy what people are doing. But anyway, thank you guys again. Bye. We'll be in touch. Thanks, Kia, again for joining us.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.